What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. We're going on with more discussions about Legend Kaido finally arriving on One Piece Treasure Cruise. I'm super excited for this. I literally cannot wait for that data download. I'm going to bring you guys that info, of course, once we get that data downloaded. It is going to be something special. I really cannot wait for it. But obviously, we saw that the V-Jump magazine, of course. The V-Jump magazine gave us a glimpse as to what his artwork is going to look like, along with two other Rare Recruit characters, with Rare Recruit Holtzman, Rare Recruit Speed, and likely going to be some more characters along the way as well. So in this video today, we're going to be going ahead and taking the time to have a look at a potential concept that I have for the upcoming Legend Kaido. Now, this video might become redundant within a few hours. We actually don't know when this data download is coming. We know the Sugo Fest literally will be live within 4 days. Like, it's coming very, very soon. So we will be expecting a data download very soon. So, as I said, this could be very, very redundant very quickly, but I want to bring you guys this info because I saw a lot of people were giving their own concepts in the comment section as well. Some people asking about what I personally think it would be. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get into it for my personal concept of Legend Kaido. Now, remember, we haven't had much time to think about this, so this could be a little bit too OP in the grand scheme of things, but I don't know. You guys let me know down below in the comment section. And, furthermore, if you guys have any more information or any more details as to what you think Kaido will be, let me know down below in the comment section. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the concept. So I'd like to introduce you guys to my concept of Kaido, the world's strongest creature. I think that would be an amazing title for the character. Hopefully he has something like that, or, we'll have to wait and see, of course. But as for my concept of Kaido, I have listed him as a quick shooter powerhouse character. Pretty obvious as to why he would have those classes. However, there are many different class variations that he could potentially have. I think that powerhouse, definitely has to be on his character. If powerhouse is not on there, I will be very, very surprised. I mean, he could be even driven shooter, to be honest. He could be a driven fighter. There's just so many different combinations for Kaido, and that really opens up the fact that, we could have future Legend Kaidos down the line as well, like V2s or V3s down the line. There could be different variations of him, which will be really, really exciting. But as I said, he's going to be a quick shooter powerhouse in this concept here. I don't have any statistics listed for the character because it does take a lot of time to do the statistics, adding each individual number from an image sheet. So, obviously it takes a lot of time to do that. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into his captain ability that I have for him, which I've titled as Indestructible Mythical Body. So, as for his captain ability, he's going to boost the entire crew's attack by 3.5 times. But then you will get a further attack boost of 1.05 times for every attack that you hit that is good or better. So good, great, or perfect, you will get a 1.05 times increase to your attack boost. And then on top of that, he reduces damage significantly from each enemy that exceeds 3,000 damage. So this is very similar to like a damage threshold effect like Raid Bato or Rare Recruit Inazuma, characters that apply a threshold where if they deal a certain amount of damage, any damage that exceeds it will get reduced by like a humongous margin. So this is the ability of Kaido's captain ability. So in a hypothetical situation, if you get dealt, let's say, 5,000 damage, you will take 3,000 damage, and then the exceeded amount will be reduced by a significant margin. I haven't really thought about it yet, but I would think it'd be anywhere between 95 to 98% or something like that. But then on top of that, having the ability to tank damage from each enemy, that he will go ahead and reflect 200 times the damage that you took during that turn at the end of each turn. So quickly going back over his attack boost. So it's a 3.5 starter, and then obviously every time you hit a good or greater, you get an additional 1.05 times. So the way that it works is you start off at 3.5, the next attack will be 3.67, then it's 3.85, 4.05, 4.25, and then the last character will be at 4.46. So overall, extremely powerful attack boost. And I don't think it's that absurd, personally, considering we have a character such as Luffy and Law being a rainbow captain that can apply that type of boost. Obviously, that only applies when they are the dual captain, but with Luffy and Law, you can get some pretty absurd effects with their swap ability, as well as them having a 2.5 orb boost. So I don't really think that a captain ability like this is really that absurd. The thing that is kind of absurd absurd though, that may, you know, need some testing would be the damage reduction effect on top of the reflection of damage. I think that maybe could be fine-tuned to maybe a smaller degree or maybe a higher degree, depends on how it actually would work in game. But I like the fact that he has the ability to tank damage from the enemy and then to reflect it back at them, meaning that he'd be just an amazing tank. Like, you wouldn't really need too many damage reducing effects with him, though what would really help out a character like this would be a really good healer, because if you are tanking damage consistently to then reflect it back to the enemy, if you are doing it consistently, you'd want to make sure you can get your health back. Obviously, there are plenty of healers in the game, and with KAIDO in this circumstance here being a rainbow captain, you could fit lots of characters on his potential teams. So now that we've gone through that, let's go ahead and start talking about his special ability being Borrow Breath, maxing out at 15 turns. Initially, it's going to deal 250 times his attack in non-type damage to all enemies that ignores defensive effects. If you guys have been reading the manga, you guys would see that his Borrow Breath attack, it does absurd amounts of damage. The amount of destructive capacity that it has is crazy, and I think that definitely needed to be reflected with his special ability here in this concept, considering his artwork is him actually using the Borrow Breath. So he does the damage, but then on top of it, I wanted to apply a new sort of debuff to the enemy. Now, I've titled it as basically burn, because it's essentially what it is. So it's burn effect. So you know the burn effect that you get inflicted to whenever you hit a perfect, you get damage dealt to your team. Well, it's a very similar type of thing, where when they are inflicted with it, they will go ahead and take 100 times KAIDO's attack every time the enemy attacks you. So you can apply this on top of your already withstanding captain ability, so you can tank damage from the enemy, reflect the damage back at them, and because they attacked while they're burned, they also take even more damage. So this is a really nice effect that works in tandem with his captain ability to just whittle down the enemy with lots of really massive effects of damage. Now, I wanted to also make sure that you could actually apply this debuff to the enemy. So the way that I've stated it here is that when you activate this special, you do the damage, the burn effect will ignore enemy immunity. So you will always inflict the enemy with this burn no matter what. This is the only type of special that will ignore the immunity though. This does not mean that your other specials will ignore immunity for that turn. Only KAIDO's burn effect will ignore their immunity. So no matter what, you'll always get this to activate, which is nice. But then on top of that, I also wanted him to have some sort of effect that helps out your team in some way. I was thinking about an attack boost, but with all of these different damaging effects, I don't really think that, you know, getting an attack boost is kind of warranted for this character. I guess, you know, going on from what I said a little earlier, a healing effect would have been nice for the character too, but in this situation here, I've just stated that for 3 turns, all of your type slots will be beneficial to your team. This is a really nice effect that you can carry through multiple different stages of dungeons, meaning that, you know, if the enemy applies a negative orb enable to your team, you can ignore it with KAIDO's ability, even though, like, the thing is in a lot of circumstances with an effect like this, you probably don't even need to worry about applying orb boosts, attack boosts. With this burn effect, as well as the fact that you can tank damage, it's just absurd, right? You can just have a healer on your team, continuously tank damage, and reflect a bunch back to the enemy. The only thing that would really hinder a character like this would be despair, so having a really heavy despair removal would be nice here. I was also potentially thinking about having that applied into his special ability, because despair just ruins him altogether. And also, another thing that kind of hinders this character, if it were to be a real character, is the normal attacks only debuff. And I mean, that's a debuff that hinders a lot of different characters we've seen. V2 Doflamingo, V2 Katakuri, even version 1 Mihawk. Like, there's lots of characters in the game that get hindered by that effect, and this would be another character that also would not be able to, you know, get the full capabilities of it. The cool thing though is that the burn effect from KAIDO's special will still activate even if normal attacks only is applied. It just means that KAIDO's captain ability to reflect the damage back to the enemy will not be applied. So that's the only real negative drawbacks to the character. He is rainbow, as we said, so there's lots of variety that you can run with a character like this. And I mean, this is just my personal concept of the character. We don't really know what he's going to be like. I think he's going to be, honestly, one of the coolest legends in the game. I am ridiculously excited for this character, and obviously, as I said, once we get that data download for this character's abilities, I'll be bringing you guys a full update regarding what he actually does. And I guess to finish off this video, we can quickly discuss his crewmate abilities. His crewmate abilities are not very important, but for what he does as a crewmate, he completely resists Special Bind, which I think is great, and he also will deal 2 times damage against Dex enemies, which means he himself will not have any weaknesses. He can attack everyone for at least neutral damage. Another crewmate ability I was thinking of that would actually make a ton of sense is he is immune to being blown away. I think that would actually make a lot more sense than these 2 potential crewmate effects. You could probably get rid of the Dex enemy one and just put in the removal of blown away, like he can't be blown away. That probably makes a lot more sense compared to what he does, but either way, we'll have to wait and see what he actually does. But that has been my full concept of Legend Kaido. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.